Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another Supatease video, and it feels like it was quite literally just yesterday that 12.0.5 dropped and all of our UIs got destroyed. Everything was super bugged out, and your class didn't start working the way that it was supposed to, and certain features of the patch were just completely botched up and didn't work whatsoever. But guess what? 12.0.7 apparently is right around the next bend. I don't know how they're keeping up with this cadence, man. But in today's video, we are going to be reviewing all of the content that they have debuted for this patch. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't expect. Usually these kind of mini patches are pretty shallow and don't offer a huge amount, but this one seems to be pretty extensive and dense, which draws some concerns as well. I want to be excited about it, but it's like, can you really do it? Can you really deliver this level of polish on this fast of a cadence? And now this is really where I think that Blizzard is going to be tested, as they've said that they realized they fell short with their aims with 12.0.5, and they want to improve that into the future. This is going to be the first step. So we're going to see how exactly that's all going to be breaking down. So in the next content update, this is called Revelations. This step is going to be thwarting the forces of the void, hunting down their leaders, and uncovering new sources of power. Players will also face a new single boss raid. There's literally a raid in this patch, 12.0.7. Is there going to be a race to world first? There's a raid? This is like the third patch of the first season. And there's going to be turbulent timeways returning with Dragonflight dungeons and a new slate of rewards. So get ready for a showdown. You'll be facing the forces of the void, and void assaults and ritual sites isn't enough to stop their machinations. So those are the new feature that came out. Is kind of broken. They had to take it down for a few days, but I think it's back and running, and some people have been really enjoying that. I was told it takes like an hour to complete them to get like one piece of hero track gear, which felt like a pretty big time investment. But a lot of casual players that I've seen on social media are really enjoying it. So if you're a casual player, I would recommend you check out the Void Assaults and Ritual sites, but they're going to be adding and layering onto this. So to cut the threat off at its source, you will need to hunt down the leaders behind these brutal attacks on Azeroth, track them through a portal in the Void Storm, leading to two new locations. So this is reminding me very much of Legion. I like this. They got two images here. They've got Nigtal and they've got Val. So Nigtal kind of looks like Zangar Marsh with some like Draenei influence as well, with these mushrooms in the back, which is kind of interesting. And then we've got Val, which looks like Northrend, some Frost Void Lord Dragonflight-esque kind of vibe going here. So they've transplanted some of the Void elements into like some of the Frost elements from Dragonflight. So Nagtel will be a fungal, arcane-rich world now occupied by an insidious, ethereal faction known as the Hal Hadar. Val, an icy world once inhabited by the Legion, where the Dominar Imperator Pertinax has established his bastion of power. Now we understand why the Legion was trying to build up its armies to fight against the Void, and now the Void are basically doing the same thing. The portal to these worlds is unstable and switches destinations every few days, bringing a rotating set of challenges and experiences. You know, this RNG element, it's interesting to try and make PvE a little bit more varied, so you feel like you're doing exactly the same thing. The Delves are like this as well, where the Delves rotate their experience. So like you're going into the same Delve, but it's not exactly the same. So they're trying to take that through. I don't mind that so much for the experience. I don't like it for rewards, though, especially cosmetics. Opening a box and not knowing if you're going to get the certain cosmetic. I'm not a big fan of it when it comes to cosmetics, but for experience, I think I'm okay with it, especially when there's no leaderboards involved or competitive integrity. Players can undertake world quests in these zones. There's world quests, there's rares, and there's events, and then there's a showdown with the leaders as world bosses. Okay, so there's a new raid, there's world bosses, and there's event. Dude, how are they going to do this? You're going to gain new power with the Omnium Folio. Oh no. Borrowed power? Is this borrowed power? I think this might be borrowed power. We just got like void items to infuse our weapons and our trinkets. What, they're gonna do more? There's gonna be more? I feel like it's like, great, we're doing more content, there's more content, but I feel like I can't even finish my food. You know do you feel like that? You feel like you can't even finish your food? Like the patch just came out, I'm like, I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm digging what I'm doing, and it's like they're shoving the next plate in front of me and taking the other one away before I feel like I'm not even there yet. So you're going to join Magister Umbric and Grand Magister Romath on a mission to reconfigure and restore the Sunstrider Omnium. This ancient elven relic was originally created by Dathramar Sunstrider to study and observe the various schools of magic and to serve as an academic repository. After years of silence, the Sunstrider Omnium has now reawakened, unsettling the Magisters and sowing disarray among them. Once unlocked, you will be entrusted with the Omnium Folio, which is a runic ledger containing powerful runes of power you can use in battle. In what kind of battle? Are we talking like Mythic Plus, raids, PvP, everything, or are we just talking world content? Continue taking part in weekly activities to imbue more runes, customizing these initial runes, and unlocking their maximum potential to aid you in the fight against the void. So it's not specific. We don't know. This is not specific because there's a lot of like world power zones, right? Like even in like Zolaman, there's like those different little factions you can level up and you get different power ups out in the world for world PvP, which is fine. But then are we adding this as extra layer borrowed power to all the competitive forms of content? Doesn't look like they're really able to share that with us at this time. We get the new raid, which is called Sporefall, which this is like TBC nostalgia, like right there, right? You just see the mushrooms, you see the Sporagar guy, you're just like immediately thinking TBC. I think that's intentional. Sporefall is a single boss raid located in Herondar, where you'll face the fungal giant Rotmire. The raid will be available in Raid Finder, Normal, Heroic, and Mythic. So there's going to be a Mythic for this. And they're trying a new Mythic difficulty, which is Flex for 15 to 25 players. I think I like this. I don't like the rigidity of the 20 group raids. I've always preferred smaller group. My favorite raiding was 10-man raiding. I think that's why I'm actually enjoying Mythic Plus right now. It's just because I like the smaller groups. I think when it scales up too large, it's just too much managerial processing, too much organization, and making sure you have the exact slots. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. This is a major change. I also wonder what it means for competitive guilds and like race guilds, because inevitably one of these group sizes is going to be BIS. And we don't know what it is yet. It could be 15, it could be 25, it could be 18. We don't know. So some players could be getting cut and rosters might need to add new players. This is a massive change to raiding. Just fundamentally a massive change to raiding. This is going to completely shift the landscape. So now we got lore walking with the Loa. So it's a little bit of BFA. Experience the lore of the Loa with assistant Loa Walker Lili. You'll dive deeper into the stories of the Zandalari, Drakari, Gurubashi, and Darkspear trolls. So if you want some more troll history, you'll be able to get some lore from this. So lore players are eating good. Help Loa speaker Breck hatch John Eli's new eggs. Oh my god, eggs. Again, this is like Wrath of Lich King, right? You collect the eggs and you hatch them into mounts and into proto-drakes. I think this is a little bit of nostalgia here. With the return of John Eli, Loa of Fire, comes a return to past traditions. She's ready to bring a new clutch of eggs into the world, but Loa speaker Breck requires assistance with the ceremony and with ensuring all the Loa's young are released safely from their eggs. Be a part of welcoming the first of her offspring and protecting them as they take their first steps. So this is kind of also reminding you of like the build abomination from Shadowlands. Maybe you'll get like a little dragon hawk pet, raise it up, and maybe it becomes a mount when it becomes an adult. They haven't revealed any specifics of this, but it's giving me throwbacks to those types of events. And then begin the next chapter with Zul'Jin. Now, I thought they were going to villain bat this guy. Zul'Jin is like the brother, and he's kind of seems a little bit envious, a little bit on the sidelines to Zul'Jara as far as like the leadership role. So I do wonder if they're going to villain bat him, or if they're going to give him some type of positive arc here, because we are going to be questing with him. I think a lot of people were anticipating him to be like the next major raid boss. When the Heronir call for a special gathering, Zul'Jin attends as the Amani representative, only to be drawn into an ancient mystery surrounding the legacy of the Amani trolls. Join him and his uncle Kinduru on their journey of discovery to uncover the truth. This content will arrive after the release of the update, so there's a little bit of time gating, but there's been time gating in everything, right? The time gating. Now, the turbulent Timeways are going to return, and that is a sick-looking proto-drake. No, I think the frost is just in the background, but it makes it look like it's coming out of the dragon. So turbulent Timeways will return. There's going to be a new mount, the spawn of Viranoth. Okay, so it's this proto-drake. And add 6 Dragonflight dungeons to the rotation. So we got Algathar, Halls of Infusion, Notharius, Ruby Life Pools, Azurvault, and Brackenhide Hollow. We're already time-walking Dragonflight. Just trying to just splash in some extra content as much as possible. There's a new micro holiday, the Darkspear Dash. Join the Darkspear Trolls and their Zandalari allies as they race from Echo Isles to Silvermoon City for an in-game event inspired by the running of the Trolls community event. Prepare to run, leap, and spread Rainbow Cheer alongside the route. More user interface options. Oh, I'm kind of worried about that. We're adding additional quality of life updates to the raid frames, damage meters, and more. Okay, so no specifics here, but I think that it's good that they're still doing this, which is something that they said they would do, right? Because I think the add-on situation has been kind of like, expansion came out, it still needs more work, and they were like, we're going to keep working on it. This is something that we tweak and improve over a long period of time. So here come the additional tweaks. Hopefully it doesn't break everything, because like they kind of improved the raid frames with like the cooldown showing up slightly smaller in the middle of the frame, but then the debuffs are just like going wild, and I don't know what happened there. So I guess we're going to have to wait until 12.0.7 before we see those improvements. They're not going to come in hotfix waves or not. And there's also a lot of room to be had here with this. But I mean, this seems really major for a 0.7 patch. Like this seems so ambitious. And I want to believe that this is going to come out without a hitch. I want to believe it's going to come out with a hitch, but I have some serious concerns. Because it's like one of those things, like it looks too good to be true. But I'm excited at the same time. So hopefully they're gonna be able to hit the mark with this. Are you guys excited? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys very much for tuning into this news update, and I will see you in the next one.